Karen reported someone for walking slowly, then shoved them and was fined for assault. What would you do if someone's impatience turned a quiet walk into a public scandal? On a crisp autumn afternoon in downtown Asheville, the bustling sidewalk along Main Street was alive with shoppers and commuters. Amid the crowd, one woman's voice sliced through the hum like a siren. "Move it, old man." Karen Whitaker, a sharply dressed 45-year-old real estate agent, bellowed at Henry Caldwell, a 78-year-old retiree shuffling along with his cane. Henry, a soft-spoken widower known for his daily walks to the local bakery, barely registered her words before Karen's complaint escalated into something far uglier. Karen's tirade began with a phone call to the city's non-emergency line, her voice dripping with entitlement as she reported Henry for obstructing pedestrian traffic. She stood, arms crossed, tapping her designer heels, as Henry continued his slow pace, oblivious to the storm brewing behind him. Passers-by exchanged uneasy glances, but no one intervened yet. Karen's impatience wasn't new. She was infamous in Asheville for her complaints about noisy neighbors, loitering teens, and even a barista who smiled too slowly. But this time, her fuse was shorter, and her actions would spark a reckoning. The truth unraveled when a teenage barista named Mia, working at the nearby Brew and Bean Cafe, overheard Karen's call. Mia, who often served Henry his daily black coffee, knew him as a kind soul who tipped generously despite his modest pension. Disgusted by Karen's cruelty, Mia stepped outside, phone in hand, and began recording. The video captured Karen's venomous rant. People like him shouldn't be allowed out here, clogging up everyone's day. Henry, now aware of the commotion, turned to face Karen, his weathered face creased with confusion. "I'm just walking, ma'am," he said softly, leaning on his cane. Karen's response was a sneer. "Just walking? You're a hazard." Mia's video didn't stop there. As Henry turned to continue his walk, Karen's frustration boiled over. She stormed forward, her purse swinging wildly, and shoved Henry with both hands. The elderly man stumbled, his cane clattering to the pavement as he caught himself against a lamppost. Gasps erupted from the crowd. Coffee spilled from Henry's to-go cup, soaking his coat, and a stack of flyers he'd been carrying ads for a local charity bake sale scattered like leaves. Karen didn't flinch. "That's what you get for holding everyone up," she snapped, oblivious to the growing circle of onlookers. Enter an unexpected twist. Officer Lila Torres, a rookie cop on foot patrol, had been watching from across the street. Lila, who'd grown up in Asheville and knew Henry as her late grandfather's chess buddy, felt her blood boil. She crossed the street in seconds, her badge glinting under the afternoon sun. "Ma'am, step back now," Lila ordered, her voice calm but steely. Karen, unfazed, doubled down. "Officer, this man was blocking the sidewalk. I had to do something." Lila's eyes narrowed as she scanned the scene. Henry's trembling hands, the spilled coffee, the scattered flyers. Mia, still recording, stepped forward and offered her phone. "I got all, officer," she said, her voice shaking with righteous anger. The confrontation reached its peak as Lila reviewed Mia's footage. Karen's bravado began to crack as she realized the crowd wasn't on her side. "You can't be serious," she scoffed, but her hands fidgeted with her purse straps. Lila, unflinching, radioed for backup while keeping Karen in her sight. Henry, now steadied by a bench, spoke up, his voice quiet but piercing. "I lost my wife last year, and these walks are all I got left. I ain't trying to bother nobody." The crowd fell silent, the weight of his words settling over them. A woman in the crowd, clutching her toddler son's hand, shouted, "You should be ashamed, Karen." Others nodded, their phones now out, capturing Karen's growing discomfort. Karen's downfall was as public as her outburst. Lila placed her in citation for assault, the click of the cuffs echoing in the quieting street. Karen's protests, "Do you know who I am? I'll have your badge," only deepened the crowd's scorn. Mia's video went viral on X within hours, amassing thousands of views and comments like, "Karen's at it again," and "Justice for Henry." Local news vans arrived, their cameras rolling as Karen was led to the patrol car, her designer jacket rumpled, and her face a mask of rage and shame. Henry, meanwhile, was helped to his feet by Mia and another bystander, who handed him a fresh coffee from the cafe. The scattered flyers were gathered by the crowd, who promised to support the bake sale in his name. The legal consequences hit Karen like a freight train. She was fined $2,500 for assault and ordered to complete 150 hours of service at a senior center. Ironic, given her disdain for Henry's pace. Her real estate business tanked as clients dropped her, unwilling to associate with Asheville's most notorious Karen. Social media piled on, with memes and hashtags like Karen versus Kane trending for weeks. Karen's attempts to spin the narrative claiming she was defending public safety fell flat, especially when Mia's video resurfaced alongside Henry's interview on the local news, where he spoke of forgiveness but urged others to be kinder than I was shown. The story's end carried a spark of hope. Henry's daily walks resumed, now with a small entourage of neighbors who joined him, turning his routine into a quiet community ritual. Mia was hailed as a hero, her cafe seeing a surge in business as people came to support her stand. Officer Lila earned a commendation for her quick action, and the charity bake sale raised triple its goal, thanks to the viral attention. Karen, meanwhile, faded from public view, her name a cautionary tale whispered in Asheville's coffee shops and sidewalks. This wasn't just about one shove or one finite, was about a choice, to rush through life, trampling others, or to pause and see the humanity in those around us. What do you think, was Karen's punishment fair, or did she deserve more? Share your thoughts, because stories like this remind us our actions ripple, and sometimes they come back to haunt us.